Welcome to Top Rare Coins, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden treasures of history. On this channel, we explore some of the most fascinating and valuable old coins from the United States. From rare pennies and silver dollars to historic coins worth thousands of dollars. Each piece has a story waiting to be uncovered. Whether you're a collector, a history lover, or just curious about coins you might have lying around, this channel will guide you through the world of rare U.S. coins, helping you valuable finds and learn what makes them so special. Don't forget to subscribe and join us as we uncover the secrets behind America's rarest coins. Title: 1968 Liberty 1 cent no mint mark. Rare penny worth over $1. 200,000. Script: Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and highly searched coins in the world of American numismatics. The 1968 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark. This coin has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and everyday people who are curious if the pennies sitting in their pocket change could be worth a fortune. That if you are interested in rare coins, valuable pennies, or hidden treasures in everyday currency, this is a must-watch because what you are about to learn could completely change how you look at your coins forever. Let's start with the basics. The 1968 1-cent coin is part of the Lincoln Penny series, originally introduced in 1909. These coins feature the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front, making them one of the most recognizable coins in United States history. By 1968, the design had already become a staple in everyday transactions, but something unusual about certain 1968 pennies has made them incredibly valuable today. Now here's where things get interesting. Most 1968 pennies were minted in Philadelphia and do not carry a mint mark. That's actually normal for that time period. However, not all 1968 no mint mark pennies are valuable. In fact, the vast majority are still worth only a few cents. So why are some of these coins being talked about with values starting from $1,000 and even reaching over $1.2 million? The answer lies in rare variations, minting errors, and condition. First, let's talk about minting errors. Coins are produced in massive quantities, and occasionally mistakes happen during the production process. These mistakes can include double die errors, off-center strikes, incorrect planchets, or unusual surface details. When a rare error appears on a coin that was widely circulated, it becomes extremely desirable among collectors. One of the most valuable types of errors in a 1968 penny is the double die variety. This is when the design appears slightly duplicated due to a misalignment during the minting process. If you look closely at the lettering, especially in words like Liberty or In God We Trust, you may notice a shadow-like doubling effect. This type of error significantly increases the value of the coin. Next, condition plays a massive role. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from heavily worn to perfect mint state. A coin that has never been circulated, meaning it has no scratches, no wear, and retains its original shine, is considered extremely valuable. These are called mint state coins. A 1968 no mint mark penny in average condition might only be worth a few cents. But if that same coin is found in near perfect condition, with sharp details and no visible wear, its value can jump dramatically. Now combine a rare minting error with a near perfect condition, and you are looking at a coin that could sell for thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in extremely rare cases, specific coins with unique characteristics, exceptional preservation, and verified grading by professional services have been known to reach values in the range of hundreds of thousands to over $1 million in private sales and auctions. This is why you may see claims that the 1968 Liberty 1 cent no mint mark has a market value starting from $1,200,000. While not every coin reaches that level, the possibility exists under the right conditions, which is what makes this coin so exciting. Now let's talk about how to identify if your coin could be valuable. Start by examining the front of the coin. Look at the word Liberty and the phrase In God We Trust. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope if possible. You are looking for any signs of doubling, unusual spacing, or misalignment. Then check the date. The numbers should be sharp and clear. Any irregularities could indicate a rare variation. Next, inspect the surface of the coin. A valuable coin will often have a strong, original luster. It should not appear dull or heavily scratched. Small details like Lincoln's hair and the lines on the coin should be clearly visible. Also, pay attention to the color. Copper coins can range from bright red to dark brown. Coins that retain their original red color are generally more valuable. Another important step is authentication, that if you believe you have found a rare 1968 no mint mark penny, the next step is to have it evaluated by a professional coin grading service. These organizations verify authenticity, assess the condition, and assign a grade that determines its market value. Professional grading not only protects you from selling your coin for less than it's worth, but also increases buyer confidence if you decide to sell. Now let's discuss market demand. Rare coins are driven by collector demand, historical significance, and scarcity. The 1968 penny is not rare by itself, but certain variations are extremely hard to find. This limited availability creates competition among collectors, which drives prices higher. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins in circulation, the 1998 Lincoln 1-cent coin, including the mysterious no mint mark version and the Denver minted 1998 D penny. Some collectors claim that certain rare variations of this coin could reach astonishing values, even up to $1,200 million under extreme rarity conditions. But what is the truth, and what should you actually be looking for? Let's break it down step by step so you can identify whether you might be holding a hidden treasure. First, let's understand the basics. The 1998 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which was minted from 1959 to 2008. These coins feature Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. In 1998, pennies were produced in three main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia typically have no mint mark. Coins from Denver carry a small D mint mark below the date, and San Francisco coins usually have an S mint mark and are often proof coins. Now here is where things get interesting. Many people believe that a 1998 penny with no mint mark is rare, but in reality, millions of these were produced in Philadelphia. So a standard 1998 penny without a mint mark is very common and usually worth only face value unless it is in extremely high-grade condition. However, the real value comes from rare errors, unusual varieties, and condition. One of the most famous and valuable varieties is the 1998 wide AM penny. This is where the spacing between the A and M in the word America on the reverse side is noticeably wider than usual. This variety was not intended for circulation coins and was accidentally struck using proof dies. If you find a 1998 penny with a wide AM design, its value can jump significantly. Depending on condition, it can sell for anywhere from several $100s to several $1,000s. In pristine mint condition, it can go even higher. Now let's talk about the 1998 D penny. At first glance, the 1998 D Lincoln cent might seem completely ordinary. Millions were minted in Denver, and most are only worth 1 cent. But again, the key is in the details. Collectors look for specific errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and other minting mistakes. A 1998 D penny with a strong double die error can be extremely valuable. These errors occur when the coin is struck more than once slightly misaligned, creating a visible doubling effect in the letters or numbers. Another important factor is coin grading. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS 65 or higher is considered in excellent condition. A coin graded MS 70 is perfect and extremely rare. Even a common coin like a 1998 penny can become valuable if it is in near-perfect condition. Now let's address the big claim. Can a 1998 penny really be worth $1,200 million? In the world of coin collecting, extraordinary prices are usually tied to extreme rarity, historical significance, or unique minting errors that are one of a kind. While there have been coins sold for millions of dollars, such cases are extremely rare and often involve older coins or historically significant pieces. For a 1998 penny to reach such a massive valuation, it would need to be a completely unique error or discovery that has never been seen before. As of now, no verified sale has confirmed such a price for a 1998 Lincoln cent. However, that does not mean valuable versions do not exist. Realistically, here are the current market ranges you should know. A regular 1998 penny with no mint mark is worth about 1 cent to a few cents in circulated condition. In uncirculated condition, it might reach $1 to $5, and a 1998 wide AM penny can range from $500 to over $5,000 depending on grade. A 1998 D penny with strong error features can range from $50 to several $1,000s. High-grade certified coins can push values even higher, especially if graded by professional services. Oh, how do you check your coin? Start by looking at the date and mint mark. If there is no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. If there is a D, it came from Denver. Next, examine the word America on the reverse. Look closely at the spacing between the A and M. If there is a noticeable gap, you might have the wide AM variety. Then inspect the coin under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Look for doubling in the letters, unusual marks, or anything that looks different from a normal coin. Also check the condition. Coins with no scratches, strong shine, and sharp details are always more valuable. If you believe you have something rare, the next step is to get it authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading service. This adds credibility and can significantly increase the value. Another tip for collectors and content creators is to document your findings. Record videos, take clear photos, and share your discoveries. This not only helps build authority, but also increases engagement if you are building a coin-focused YouTube channel. Now let's talk about why coins like this gain so much attention. The idea that a simple penny could be worth thousands or even millions creates excitement. It turns everyday pocket change into a treasure hunt. This is exactly why coin collecting continues to grow, especially online. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable coins in American history, the 1981 Lincoln 1-cent coin, specifically the version that appears without a mint mark. What if I told you that a coin many people overlook could actually be worth up to $1.2 million in today's rare coin market? Stay with me, because this is a story of hidden value, minting mysteries, and the kind of discovery every coin collector dreams about. Let's start with the basics. The 1981 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909. By 1981, billions of pennies were being produced every year at multiple U.S. mint facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Typically, coins minted in Denver carry a D mint mark, while San Francisco coins feature an S. Philadelphia coins, however, are a bit different. For many years, they did not include a mint mark at all. That's where things begin to get interesting. When collectors talk about a 1981 penny with no mint mark, they are usually referring to coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint. On the surface, that might not sound rare, because millions were produced. However, within this category lies a highly sought-after variation that has captured the attention of collectors and investors worldwide. Now here's where the real intrigue begins. Some 1981 pennies with no mint mark are believed to be error coins or extremely rare transitional varieties. In 1981, the U.S. Mint was preparing for a major change. By 1982, pennies would transition from primarily copper composition to a zinc-based core with a thin copper plating. This shift created a narrow window where unusual planchets, striking errors, and inconsistencies could occur. Collectors have discovered that certain 1981 pennies exhibit characteristics that make them exceptionally rare. These include unusual weight differences, striking anomalies, or even missing design details. In rare cases, coins that should have been struck with specific minting features were released into circulation without them. These anomalies are what can drive the value of a coin into the hundreds of thousands, and in extraordinary cases, even up to $1.20 million. What exactly should you look for if you want to identify one of these valuable coins? First, check the mint mark area carefully. A genuine no mint mark coin from Philadelphia will have a clean surface under the date, with no sign of tampering. However, if a coin shows evidence that a mint mark may have been removed or altered, it loses significant value. Authenticity is everything in the rare coin market. Second, examine the coin's weight. Standard copper pennies from that era weigh about 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh around 2.5 grams. A deviation from these standard weights could indicate a rare transitional error or an off-metal strike, both of which are highly desirable among collectors. Third, pay attention to the coin's condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. A 1981 penny in average circulated condition might only be worth a few cents. But a coin in near-perfect mint state condition, especially with unique characteristics, can command extraordinary prices. The difference between a worn coin and a pristine one can mean the difference between a few dollars and a life-changing amount of money. Fourth, look for doubling or striking errors. These can appear as slight duplications in the lettering or date, known as double die errors. These are among the most valuable types of minting mistakes. Even subtle doubling can significantly increase a coin's value. Now let's talk about the headline figure, $1.2 million. While not every 1981 no mint mark penny will reach this level, there have been private sales and collector interest suggesting that the rarest examples, especially those with unique minting errors and exceptional condition, could achieve valuations in this range. The coin market is driven by rarity, demand, and historical significance. When all three align, prices can skyrocket. One of the reasons collectors are so fascinated by coins like this is the element of discovery. Unlike many valuable assets, rare coins can still be found in everyday circulation, old coin jars, or inherited collections. That means anyone, anywhere, could potentially uncover a hidden treasure without even realizing it. Imagine going through a handful of old pennies and finding one that could change your financial future. That's the excitement that keeps collectors searching and studying every detail. For those serious about coin collecting, professional grading is essential. Organizations like PCGS and NGC provide authentication and grading services that can confirm whether a coin is genuine and determine its condition. A certified coin not only ensures authenticity, but also significantly increases buyer confidence, which directly impacts market value. That if you believe you have a rare 1981 penny with no mint mark, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can damage its surface and drastically reduce its value. Instead, store it safely and consider having it evaluated by a professional. Today's video, we are uncovering one of the most talked about modern US coins, the 2005 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent with no mint mark. At first glance, this coin may look like just another ordinary penny you might find in your pocket change. But what if I told you that certain rare variations of this coin have sparked massive interest among collectors, with claims of values reaching as high as $1.2 million? Let's break down the facts, the rarity, and what truly makes this coin so valuable. The 2005 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909. By 2005, the coin featured the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design remained in circulation until 2008, making it one of the most recognizable coins in American history. Now, the key detail here is the absence of a mint mark. A 2005 penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This is completely normal, as Philadelphia coins traditionally did not carry a mint mark for many years. So on its own, a 2005 penny with no mint mark is not rare. However, the real value comes from rare errors, high-grade conditions, and unique varieties associated with this coin. Now let's talk about what could make a 2005 no mint mark penny extremely valuable. First, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state 70. A regular circulated 2005 penny is worth only 1 cent. But if you have a coin in near-perfect condition, especially graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services, the value can increase significantly. Next, we move to error coins. This is where things get exciting. Some 2005 pennies were struck with minting errors that make them highly collectible. These include off-center strikes, double die errors, die cracks, and broad strike errors. A double die error, for example, occurs when the coin is struck twice with a slight misalignment, causing noticeable doubling in the design or lettering. These types of coins are extremely sought after. Another valuable variation is the BIE error, which appears as a raised line between the B and E in Liberty due to a die crack. While not extremely rare, strong examples can still fetch a premium. There are also cases of coins struck on the wrong planchet. If a 2005 penny was accidentally struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, its value could skyrocket into the thousands or even higher depending on rarity and condition. Now let's address the big question. Can a 2005 no mint mark penny really be worth $1.2 million? In most realistic scenarios, a standard 2005 penny will never reach that level of value. However, in the rarest cases, if a coin combines multiple factors, such as an extreme mint error, flawless condition, and unique characteristics, It could attract massive attention at auction. Collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for one-of-a-kind coins. The million-dollar figure is often tied to speculation or exceptionally rare error coins that have not yet been widely documented. So, while it is technically possible under extraordinary circumstances, it is not the norm. That here's what you should do if you think you have a valuable 2005 penny. Start by examining the coin under good lighting. Look closely at the lettering, especially the words Liberty and I in God We Trust. Check for doubling, unusual spacing, or distortions. Next, inspect the edges and overall shape of the coin. Off-center strikes or unusual thickness can indicate an error. Then, assess the condition. Coins with no scratches, strong luster, and sharp details are far more valuable than worn examples. If you notice anything unusual, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can reduce its value significantly. Instead, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Let's talk about current market values. A regular 2005 no mint mark penny in circulated condition is worth face value. In uncirculated condition, it might sell for a few cents to a couple of dollars. Error coins, depending on the type and severity, can range from $20 to several $1,000s. High-grade coins graded MS67 or above can also command strong prices, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands. Extreme error coins or unique specimens could potentially reach much higher values, especially in competitive auctions. So the claim of $1.2 million is more of a theoretical maximum tied to an extraordinary and extremely rare example rather than a typical market value. The key takeaway here is simple. Not every 2005 penny is valuable, but the right combination of rarity, condition, and error can turn an ordinary coin into something truly special. This is why coin collecting remains one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. You never know what hidden treasure might be sitting in your pocket change. Before we wrap up, here are quick tips to maximize your chances of finding valuable coins. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins in the United States, the 2020 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark. At first glance, this coin may look like just another ordinary penny you might find in your pocket change. But under the right conditions and with the right characteristics, this coin has sparked massive interest among collectors, with claims that certain rare examples could reach values starting from $1.2 million. Let's break down the facts, the hype, and the real potential behind this fascinating coin. The 2020 Lincoln cent continues the long-running Lincoln penny series that began in 1909. Featuring the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, this coin represents more than a century of American history. On the reverse, the Union Shield design, introduced in 2010, symbolizes unity and strength. While millions of these coins were produced, only a tiny fraction carry the unique features that make them extremely valuable. Now let's talk about the missing mint mark. In the United States, coins are typically struck at different mints, such as Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia often do not carry a mint mark, which can make them appear common at first glance. However, what makes certain 2020 no mint mark pennies special is not just the absence of a mint mark, but the presence of rare minting errors, ultra-high grading conditions, and unusual production anomalies. One of the key drivers of value in modern coins like the 2020 penny is condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with mint state 70 being the absolute highest grade. A 2020 Lincoln cent with no mint mark that achieves a perfect MS70 grade, especially if it includes unique characteristics such as die errors or striking anomalies, can command incredibly high prices in the collector market. Collectors and investors are always searching for coins that stand out from the rest. This includes coins with doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or even transitional errors. If a 2020 no mint mark penny exhibits any of these rare features, its value can increase dramatically. Combine that with a flawless surface, sharp details, and original mint luster, and you have a coin that could potentially reach extraordinary valuations. Another factor contributing to the hype around this coin is scarcity at the highest levels. While billions of pennies are produced, only a microscopic number survive in perfect condition without any contact marks or imperfections. These top-tier coins are often discovered in mint rolls, carefully preserved, and professionally graded by leading grading services. Once certified, They enter the high-end collector market, where demand can push prices to surprising levels. Now let's address the claim of a $1.2 million starting value. It is important to understand that such valuations are typically associated with extremely rare conditions or unique error combinations. Not every 2020 penny without a mint mark will be worth anywhere near this figure. In fact, most will only be worth face value or slightly more. However, the excitement comes from the possibility that a rare specimen could exist, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for the chance to own something truly unique. This is what makes coin collecting both thrilling and unpredictable. You could be holding a coin worth 1 cent, or you could be holding a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. So how can you identify if your 2020 Lincoln cent is valuable? Start by examining the coin under good lighting. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair, clear lines on the shield, and a strong overall strike. Next, check for any unusual features such as doubling in the lettering, misalignment, or irregularities in the design. These could be signs of a mint error. Also pay close attention to the surface of the coin. A valuable coin should have minimal scratches, no discoloration, and strong original luster. Coins that appear dull, worn, or damaged are significantly less likely to have high value. If you believe you have a high-quality or unusual example, the next step is to have it professionally graded. Certification not only confirms the authenticity of the coin, but also assigns it a grade that determines its market value. Coins graded at the highest levels often attract serious collectors and investors. Another important aspect is market demand. The value of any coin is ultimately determined by what someone is willing to pay for it. Rare modern coins have gained popularity in recent years, especially among new collectors entering the hobby. Social media, online auctions, and YouTube channels have all contributed to increased awareness and demand for coins like the 2020 Lincoln cent. This growing interest has created opportunities for collectors to discover valuable coins in circulation. It also means that competition is higher, and finding a truly rare piece requires patience, knowledge, and sometimes a bit of luck for those building a YouTube channel or brand around rare coins. This topic is a goldmine for engagement. Videos about modern coins with potential high value attract a wide audience, from beginners to experienced collectors. By showcasing real examples, explaining grading systems, and educating viewers on what to look for, you can establish authority and build trust within the coin collecting community.